Alright, so, as of me recording this, Mario and Luigi Brothership has released today, November 7th. And of course, with me being the massive Mario fan that I am, I of course have some thoughts on this game. So, before we get started into actually reviewing this game, I think it'd be a good idea to go over my experience with the Mario and Luigi series. So, I've played every game in the Mario and Luigi series, and I've absolutely loved them. I mean, Bowser's Inside Story is probably one of my favorite Mario games ever made, and I just adore every game in this franchise. I mean, I played the original Superstar Saga on the Wii U Virtual Console way back in the day. I played Partners in Time on the DS, as well as Bowser's Inside Story on the DS. I've played the shit out of Dream Team as a kid on my, very old and janky 3DS. And I've played Paper Jam 2 back when it came out. And I've even played the Bowser's Inside Story and a Superstar Saga remake. The Superstar Saga remake is absolutely phenomenal. It's a fantastic revival of the original game. And it really goes further beyond what it needed to do with... It's just such a good experience. Now, the Bowser's Inside Story remake is a little bit of charm lost, yeah. But I actually prefer it just because I like the art style of Dream Team better. But that's just me. But, the series has kind of been docile for 10 years. I mean, we haven't had an original game in the series since Paper Jam. And that came out in, 2015 or something like that. And the reason for this is because back in, I think it was 2018 or 2019... Alpha Dream, the developers behind the Mario and Luigi series, closed its doors, and that's because of the Bowser's Inside Story remake. Even though the original game, and that game itself, is super good, no one cared about the remake. I mean, they released it on the 3DS when the Switch was already a well-established thing. No one gave a shit about the 3DS in 2019. Why would you? So, the series has been dormant for a while, and we knew at some point we were going to get a new game in the series. I mean, if you didn't know, Nintendo owns both Mario and Luigi, so it wouldn't be that difficult. But we kind of didn't know when, and the only real Mario RPGs that we'd gotten on the Switch as of last year were the Rabbids series. Phenomenal games, but not really anything like we'd seen before. But that all changed last November, when Nintendo released the Super Mario RPG remake. And that was a little fucking weird. I mean, Nintendo released a game that seemed so obscure and shoved under the rug, and people really liked it. So that opened the door for okay, maybe the other Mario RPGs have a shot. And we saw that even furthermore in April of this year with the release of the Thousand Year Door remake, and that game was a massive success. I mean, it drew in people like me who had never played that game before, who loved it, and that game's success made people realize, okay, maybe we'll get the Holy Trinity, maybe we'll get a new Mario and Luigi game, and that's exactly what we found out in the June Direct of this year, or the July Direct, where Mario and Luigi Brothership was finally announced. And so after a few months of hype, is this game good? Does it live up to the other games in the series? Absolutely. I'm 3 hours into the game, and I'm having a blast. This is such... For someone who hasn't... I haven't played these games since 2021, something like that. This is so heartwarming. It's exactly what I remember this series being, just goofy fun with the main center around Mario and Luigi. And every game in this series has a gimmick. Bowser's Inside Story has Bowser, Partners in Time the babies, such and such. This game's gimmick it's kind of like Superstar Sagas, where it's just the brothers going on an adventure, and that's so cool, because that isn't really something we've seen. That's kind of been something exclusive to the Mario and Luigi series. I mean, the only thing kind of like it that we've seen is in Luigi's Mansion 3, where they're all lovey-dovey and whatever. But now we get to see Mario and Luigi's relationship again, And it's awesome. They are just lovable little guys. It's so fun. And the whole style upon, like, in this game is just fantastic. I mean, the visuals, I don't know why I thought that whenever they brought this series back, it was going to stay like it was on the 3DS. I'm an idiot. Of course they were going to go 3D, I guess 3D style. It's so good. It's so, just visually appealing. And we've never really seen Mario in this style before. I mean, the closest thing to it was in Mario Wonder, and they were animated, but they weren't this animated. And this new style really helps to play into the comedy. Like, Mario and Luigi has always been a comedy focused series. Like, it just, like, this isn't a game or a series that you go into expecting something like Baldur's Gate. They shitpost a little bit in these games, and that's what makes it funny. Like, you can't, they don't take it too serious. It's not like Paper Mario. Like, those games are super serious. And these aren't that. But that's good, that's fine. Mario and Luigi are allowed to be lighthearted, and that is pushed to the extreme in this game by how much they just squash and stretch. It's so lovely. Alright, so let's get into the thing that probably everyone is wondering about, the combat. Is the combat fun? You better fucking believe it. The combat is very similar to how it was back on the 3DS. I mean, you control Mario with one button, Luigi with the other. It works seamlessly. It's fantastic, and with me having played all the games in the series, it's pretty well muscle memory at this point. But what I find really interesting in this game is that nearly every attack acts as a bros move. In the other games, if you, say, picked Mario to do a jump, it would only be Mario performing that jump. But now, in Brothership, Luigi helps him where Mario jumps on him, like, jumps on the bad guy, bounces onto Luigi, and then, like, pings up higher in the air. And it's very cool. It helps to push that, like, brotherly, I guess, theme that the game's trying to go for. It's a very cool change of pace, and it makes things feel more cinematic. And that's another thing I noticed while playing through this game. There's a lot of cutscenes, and call me stupid, but like we never saw this in the other games. Like, all that stuff was like just like them standing there getting talked to. But this stuff, it feels more like the traditional Mario games with like Odyssey and 3D World, Bowser's Fury, all that kind of stuff. It's really cool. It adds like a bit of dimension to the world, and I feel like it would have been a little bland if they just kept it how it was. So I'm really happy about that. The like, back to the comedy, this is a stupid series. You must know that. Like, you can't go into this game expecting like the Mona Lisa of RPGs. This is a gateway RPG. It's always been one. Even though IGN wants it to be more complicated, and we'll definitely talk about their review here in a minute, it's a gateway RPG that's fun. And that goes with the whole, like, your whole objective in this game is connecting outlets to a tree. It's so dumb. They make so many, like, electricity and power and, like, outlet jokes. It's very dumb, but it's funny. So I'm okay with it. But, yeah, but I think that just helps to push the overall, like, style and feel they're trying to go for this game, which is a very welcome change. So, like I said before, I think it's time we talk about the IGN review, because I'm sure a lot of people have seen it. I don't know what shit they were on. It's, like, I definitely like this game more than I should because of, like, nostalgia and just me liking Mario. But, like, it's a good fucking game. I don't know, like, this game is bland, it's, like, uninspired. It's very inspired. They just don't get it. Like, I watched the review, like, several times, just trying to understand. They just don't get it. But that's fine. But if you're wondering, this game's not a 5. But it's not a 10 like other people have said. It's definitely very good. But it doesn't live up to its highs so far. my opinion might change. Its highs so far are not as high as others in the franchise, but the lows, which there have been very few so far, are nowhere near how low it's gone in this franchise. So it's like an 8. I'm confident in saying like 8, 8.5, and that's fine for the return of Mario and Luigi, which is a big deal. An 8 is not bad. An 8's very good. And yeah, I just feel like they kind of shit talked it for no reason. But I think if you are at all interested in this game, I mean, pick it up and try it. If you've never played an RPG before and you want to really dip your toes in, I'd say this game. Try it. It's fun, it's stupid, it's goofy. The visuals are super charming. They'll like bring anyone in. The comedy, the writing, it's stupid and it's funny. And that's all you really need. And the gameplay is absolutely phenomenal with the kind of turn-based action command where if you played the Thousand Year Door remake, how you would hit your action commands before the attack, you hit these during the attack. It's kind of a more interactive thing. It's the same like type of interaction, just during the battle instead of before. It's very fun, trust me. So yeah, I recommend anyone who's even a little interested in this game to play it. And I think it's been exceptionally well done. I do not think it's as good as Bowser's Inside Story. I don't think anything can really top that, because that's just like, I think it was dumb luck they got that so right. So yeah, but overall, this game is super good, and anyone who's interested in it should play it. So I think I've rambled for long enough, so let's get on to that outro.